Are you ready? Okay, just making sure it's recording. You ready to record? Okay. Hey guys, welcome back to the Lived It podcast. I'm your host, Liv, and I am so excited to be back because as you guys have known, we've taken quite the break. We touched bases last week about what was going on in the world just as far as the Black Lives Matter movement and the racial injustices. So if you haven't already listened to that episode, go ahead and listen to that. That was just an awesome episode, very knowledgeable. For those of you who, if you're like myself who really doesn't, I didn't really know exactly what was going on. So, I kind of made it my mission to just kind of get informed and so I could spread knowledge because that's what it's all about. So, if you haven't yet subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe so you can stay up to date with everything that I'm releasing because I have some bomb people coming on, some bomb stories, and you just don't want to miss it. Okay? So today, I have my cousin with me. Say hi, Cleshae.
Hey, guys.
So I just have my cousin Cleshae. She's just gonna share her story, share her testimony. Hopefully we can bring some people out. Hopefully we can bring some people out or help some people, just kind of inform people. It's a lot of times we're going through these things and we're too embarrassed to share it or we don't want to talk to anybody about it. We feel like no one understands. But guess what? On the Lived It podcast, we understand because we done been through it all, okay?
Yes.
What else I got to tell y'all before we start? Oh yeah, so this is my cousin Cleshae. She just gonna kind of share her story. And when I say Cleshae, her name really is Cleshae. Like I'm not even making this up. And parents, you gotta be careful what you name these kids because when I tell you this girl is a Cleshae, oh my gosh. So
been through the fire.
Cleshae is gonna pretty much just share her story about how she was. Do you mind if I called you a lesbian?
Was? You could say was.
Yeah. How she was a lesbian.
How she dealt with that.
How she dealt with lesbianism. Okay.
Hello.
Okay.
Hi.
How she dealt with lesbianism and just the trials and the tribulations she faced when she was going down that road and, what was going through her mind, what she went through, how she got out of it, and where she is now. Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. So let's start. Let me start off by saying this because this is really curious. I'm really curious about this. How the hell did you get, when you told me, oh, I have a girlfriend, I was like, at this time, guys, we were like teenagers. I was like, you got a girlfriend? I mean, I know Katy Perry said she kissed a girl and she liked it, but damn.
I mean, well, living in Bimini, I always heard about, sissies or gays, but I never really actually saw it until I moved to Nassau, probably
Bahamas.
At the age of...
This is all in the Bahamas, guys, for those of you who don't know.
Yeah, Nassau is the capital. So I came from an island to more of the city. Mm-hmm. And, I played a
lot of
sports. But not even sports. At that time, I met some friends. And one of my best friends at that time, later on down, I found out that she was gay. Mm-hmm. I kind of stopped speaking to her because of that. Because I never really knew.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was young at the time. I was 13. And my mom told me, well, that's not a reason for you not to talk to her. So I ended up, being friends with her again, hanging out, staying over her house, going out with them. And I kind of saw it a lot more and more. I mean, it still felt weird. When I used to see girls kiss each other and stuff, I used to be like, ugh. I just felt like, oh, what the hell is this?
Because you don't see it. Yeah.
It wasn't how it is now. Even on TV, it's like every TV show has
the norm, right?
Yeah, it's so normal.
Yeah.
At that time, it was like, oh, you gay? No. They don't want to talk to you. People actually want to fight you and all that different stuff.
And a lot of people was actually staying in the closet because
they were
in the afraid of the rejection that their community might give them. Yeah, today is like...
It's so normal. It's gonna be weird when they ask you, "What are you?
What, gay or straight?
Are you gay or straight? I'm straight. Who's straight anymore? Straight anymore?
But you know what? I talked to my daughter. My daughter is 9. But I felt compelled to give her the gay talk because it's everywhere. It's all over TV. It's all over Netflix. They're trying to normalize it so much. And you know what? Let me start by saying, we're not bashing anybody. We're not looking down on anybody. At the end of the day, that's your life and you have to answer to God for yourself. As for me, I'm straight. I'm straight.
Strictly.
Right? But you know, I just kind of I felt compelled to talk to her. I just was like, you know, I kind of just gave her the rundown on like the things that she was seeing, and you know, just trying to hear like how she felt about it or whatever, and just kind of let her know like, you know, as for us, we serve God. Like, you know, I let her know, like, you know, that's frowned upon, you know, this and that. And again, I'm not saying this to bash anybody. It's your life. You have to answer to God for yourself. But I mean, I have gay friends. I don't judge them in
I
a
still
way.
have gay friends too.
Yeah, I don't judge them in any way.
I mean,
you
I
know?
don't really kind of hang out and stuff, but
Right.
they're still my friends, and if that's their life, that's what they choose. But as for me, that's not the road that I want to go down anymore.
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 But so yeah, so you started hanging out with these group of girls, but because you said that they were all on the sports team, so a lot
No,
of the
those ones actually weren't on the sports team.
Mm-hmm.
They were just friends that I kind of clicked to when I first moved there.
right.
But I still didn't really get into it there because I told you, like, I felt some type of way. I was like, ugh, what is this? Like, I don't know. Like, it just felt it just felt strange and weird to me.
So when you did get into it, how old were you when you you were like, okay, I'm gay?
Probably about 15.
Oh wow.
15.
So at that time, did you have a boyfriend yet or no? Have you ever had like a?
I had boyfriends, but they weren't.
I
don't call them boyfriends.
It was just
like, oh, that's my boyfriend.
Oh, I
and
like you and you like me.
Yeah. Yeah. That's all it was.
Okay, so when you got into like, you know, your lesbianism phase, like, how was it? Like, you just kind of, did you like get pushed into? Did you feel like peer pressure to get into it, or was just like you just kind of was with the wrong crowd?
No. Like, the friends that I hung out with, they never like pushed me into it. Never, ever. I don't know. I think because I played a lot of sports in school. I played almost every sport in school, so it was just being around different people over, and I mean,
Yeah.
it's the same group of people over and over and over again, and it became the norm. It was at that time in school. It was a phase.
Yeah.
A lot of girls were going through that phase, like, oh, I like girls, I like girls, I like girls. So at that time, it was just so fun for me. I won't lie. It was just fun. But then it got deeper. It got to the point where I didn't want other guys to look at me or to talk to me, or I didn't even like them at all.
So you were like, if a guy tried to talk to you, you'd be like, I'm gay.
Yeah.
Off rip.
No shame. No shame.
So like so this was like at 15. Do you feel like when you got into it, like when you were 15, was it like a little bit more innocent than when you got into it, like as you got older?
Yeah. Because at 15, 16, I could have turned it off.
Right.
I saw how much I was hurting my mom. I saw how much I was hurting my family. And, I said, at the time I had a girlfriend. She was out of school. She was older than me. And I was like, well, I can't do this more. I'm hurting my family. I don't want to be with you. That girl came up to the school almost every day after that. Want to fight me. Oh,
jeez. They do. I have heard that people say, like, lesbian relationships are, like, so much more intense because, like, when two women get together, it's, like, emotion.
All the attitude, everything, yeah.
Oh, God, I can't deal with it because I'm already like a hot mess in my relationship. So I can just imagine me with another woman. We be fighting every day, slapping each other. The most abusive relationship.
Listen, then you always lovey-dovey like you just fought.
Nah, I can't do it. So at what point were you like seriously like, okay, I'm gay? Was it with this girl or was it with another person?
Yeah, it was another person. At that time, that probably was like
What, you were 17?
No.
You were out of school.
Yeah. I didn't get serious back until, I remember I moved over here, then I moved back to Nassau.
Oh, yeah.
So that probably was like 2000.
Oh, because after you split with the first one, you had a boyfriend in between there.
Yeah, I had a boyfriend.
What was it weird, like, leaving a relationship with a woman and then going into a relationship with a man?
Well, I can't really say because even though I had girlfriends, I wasn't really physical or sexual.
Oh, you wasn't like sexually involved with them.
Yeah, so it wasn't.
It wasn't any like attachment.
Yeah, and it took
or anything.
me and her broke up. We broke up at probably age 16. I didn't have a boyfriend until I was 18. So it was some It was a few years before I got in with someone.
So it wasn't weird. It was just like...
because at that time I told you I could have turned it off and turned it on. It was like, I don't, no.
Were you still like attracted to women even when you were with your boyfriend though?
Not really so attracted.
If I
saw a girl probably walk by with a nice shape or a big booty, I'd be like, oh.
I think every woman does that.
But it wasn't.
I do that. Like if you got a nice butt and you walk past me, I'd be like, "Oh, dang!
No,
is that Dr. Miami or is that God?"
No, I wasn't really like attracted. Like no.
Oh, okay.
No.
So when you got in the relationship with your boyfriend, like it didn't work out. So you just was like, "Forget it. I'm going to be back gay," or like how did it play out?
No, I actually talked to. I had like 2 other boyfriends after that. Mm-hmm. Did I 2 other? I think so. No, but it happened to where I started. Some of my family had just moved to Nassau, and I started hanging out with them. But little did I know that they were already gay. Like I didn't know. As far as I'm concerned, they like guys. They're not dealing with that. And then at that time, I think BBM was out.
Oh, the BlackBerry mobile.
Yeah, the BlackBerry. So they was like showing me these gay groups that they're in. I was like, what? And I said, add me. And that same night I had a girlfriend.
Oh, Jesus.
That didn't work out. That did not work out.
That's what I remember, like, guys, my family went through this, like, all my cousins, like, my sisters, or 1 or 2 of them, and even my mom, like, they went through this phase where it was like everybody was gay, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? I'm like, and even like, with this word, millennials, they always try to, like, make it seem like, you have to do everything. Like, you have a bucket list. You got to do this. You got to do this. Like, you have to have a threesome. You have to be with girls, this and that, or whatever.
Was that on your bucket list?
At one point in life, I was like, you know what? I wanna be with a girl. Not like, but it was like, I just could never see myself. Like, I was like, you know what? I'm like following a trend right now that I don't want to be a part of. And then when I seen like the ties that came along with it, I was like,
it's very strong.
Yeah, I was like, strong. I'll be a little weak sometimes. I ain't trying to wrap myself in nothing I don't got to be wrapped up in.
It's kind of hard to get out of it. Like if you're truly into it, like deep, it's kind of hard to get out of it.
That's how it was. You said when you joined the BBM, you went in single, and that same night you came out with a girlfriend.
Yeah, but I didn't really like her too much.
So what was the serious one? Because I remember one of them you asked me to be in your wedding, and I'm like, are you getting married in a church? It wasn't get married for love. It was I wanted to move back over here, and she at that time she was a Bahamian, and she couldn't. It's only so long that she could have been over here. Okay, I see what you're saying. I'm done. Listen, when you asked me, I was like, I mean, I don't want to, like, it's your life, but no. But
I thought about it. I was like, I can't get struck down.
And then you trying to bring me in it. I was like, can we do this on the beach? Okay, so like your really serious girlfriend, like how did that start and how did that play out?
BBM again.
Same thing.
God, BBM.
The gay group chat.
Oh no, it was no. We actually added it. We just added each other because we know each other. We knew each other from school, so we added each other, and she used to post her girlfriend. I used to post my boyfriend at the time, so it wasn't no big deal. And this day, she happened to post something sad, and I happened to post something sad because I was going through something with my boyfriend at the time. He had a girlfriend before me, but when we got in, all of a sudden she's pregnant. Right. She was actually pregnant, or whatever. So I didn't know how to really deal with that. So I just yeah. And then at that time, she had a girlfriend, and her girlfriend was kind of trying to explore guys. So she was going through it.
So it was kind of like you guys put your sadness together and help heal each other.
Yeah. So she actually wrote me and said what happened, and I just told her, and she was like, oh, and then she started telling me what was going on with her, and she was like, we should go. I think we went to a movie. We should go to the movies. I was like, okay. And then we was in a relationship that night. Listen, like literally,
you don't even really know when you get trapped.
Listen, And from then, like, we kind of just always stayed together and did everything together.
So how was the relationship like on a whole though? It was a good relationship because you
It
seemed
started
happy
out-
at that time.
I mean, I thought I was happy, but it really wasn't. It started out good,
Mm-hmm.
You know, she's a woman. She knew what to do. She knew,
She know what women like. She know what makes you
but
happy.
at that time, she was still doing her own thing that I didn't know about.
Right.
So it was like, okay, when this other girl came, I was like, oh, she's not spending no time with you. She's not doing this with you because she's always with me. I don't know how she cloned herself to make herself
be in two spots at once.
but she was. No, she literally was. And it was toxic because I ended up fighting one of the girls for her. Fighting the sister.
I could write a book.
Listen, like, no, like, it was so toxic. And I mean, I used to pray. I used to say, God, just take me out of it. Just, I don't want to have these feelings no more. I don't want to be in it anymore. But listen, it honestly was hard for me to get out of it. Like, it was.
How long did it go on though? Like, how long were you guys like in a relationship?
If I tell you I remember, I'd be lying. I honestly
I'm gonna say like 2 years.
Yeah, probably about 2 years.
Like 2 years. Cause I remember you were like, "This is my girlfriend. Oh, hey, baby."
No.
And then you want to be mad when y'all together and men trying to talk to y'all at the same time.
Yeah, because she was actually she dressed girly and I actually dressed girly, so no one actually really knew until we told them.
So what was it like? How does it work? It doesn't matter because I figure it's like it's usually like a butch and a girly one. It doesn't like
now I don't think they have like
a uniform.
It's so weird right now because everybody goes it doesn't
Anybody.
matter. But at that time, even though both of us were girly, she was still more aggressive. So she was kind of the.
Oh, so you was the woman in the relationship.
Yeah.
Okay, so you said that it was just like really toxic. So like, give me an example. What was really going on for you to say like this was a toxic relationship?
Like I was to the point where checking phones, like checking her ex page to see what she's posting, because the ex was actually trying to post stuff so that I can know that they were still dealing.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. So it was to the point where I'm leaving work, going on my lunch from work and driving to her house to see if anybody's there. And, it was bad because she did so much good stuff in the beginning, and then she turned into this person that I started to hate.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm telling you, like, I don't know how I let her have so much control over me, because it was to a point where she was like, oh, I'll let you guys know by the end of the week who I choose to be with. And that's where I know Camille had talked about in your podcast about insecurities.
Yeah.
I was insecure at that time. I lost a lot of weight. I don't know how I lost all that weight, but I had lost so much weight and stuff. Like, I just, I was very insecure, and it was to the point where I loved her more than I loved myself.
Mm-hmm.
Which was, I thought I loved her more than I loved myself. That really wasn't love, but I didn't realize it until
at that time.
Until later on in life I realized, guess what? That wasn't even love. Like, I don't ever think I've been in love before, because now I know what love really is now.
Right.
But girl, it was just rough. I'm telling you, like, I'm fighting. I lost relationships.
Well, like your family and stuff.
Family, yeah. I lost friendships.
How was your parents with her though? Like, did they accept her, or
in the beginning? I think my mom like kind of thought it was a phase, like, oh, whatever, it was okay. I don't think it was okay, but she kind of dealt with it.
Yeah, she figured you just grew out of it.
Yeah, and then I guess as it got deeper, she saw us together every day now. The girl kind of lives by my house now, so she didn't really want to deal with it anymore. So I actually moved out. Mm-hmm. So that kind of messed up my relationship with my mom. Mm-hmm. And then my dad didn't really want to deal with that at all. So he totally cut me off.
Cold turkey.
Yeah, he did not speak to me at all. Mm. So.
I mean, I feel like the older generation, though, they're like, they don't want to see that at all. Like, they're like, hell to the no. God destroyed the world for this stuff.
It was not the world.
Yes, he did.
It was Sodom and Gomorrah.
Why you think, isn't that why God sent the flood? To wash with Noah? Look it up. Okay.
It was not for just lesbianism.
I mean, it was a lot more.
Yeah.
But that played a huge part too.
But
yeah, but I honestly, as a parent, like, I don't feel like you should just cut your child off completely because
I don't. That's not the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Like, I dealt with it, so I could say, like, the more you kind of push your children away, the more deeper they get into that, because the more they push me away, the more that she was there for me, and
Right.
I'm like, well, you're the only person that has my back. You're the only person there for me, You could tell your child, you know what, I don't agree with this. I don't
Right.
agree with your lifestyle, but I still love you.
Right.
I still accept you for who you are, but I don't want to deal with that. You don't have to bring that around me.
Right, you do that in your own corner.
Exactly. That's actually something that's supposed to be done private anyhow. Because
Right.
that's your sexual life.
Right.
That's not you. So you do that behind closed door. Not with me, but
And still have the respect. For
yeah,
your parent on that
you
level.
still have the respect for me. But
So do you feel like you lost respect for your parent, at least because you were living with your mom at the time? You feel like you lost respect for your mom because like you were bringing her around so much and it was kind of like in her face, or not really?
Now that I think about it, I feel like that was very disrespectful for me to do.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I shouldn't have that around my sisters. Mm-hmm. I didn't want now that
because you're the oldest.
I'm the oldest.
Yeah,
and I have very young sisters. Like I have my sister under me. I have her by 10 years, and I have the rest by more and more and more.
Yeah.
So that was so much for them to see at an early age,
Yeah,
and I really didn't care, and that's it. I did not care, and I should have cared, because now that I have children, I don't want that around them.
Right.
I don't want that around them.
Yeah. Same with me. Like I said, I had the conversation with my daughter, and I just was like, I just wanted to get her takes on it, and she was like, Mommy, it's just really weird. It just doesn't look right to me, and I was like, well. I just kind of gave her the rundown of like my thoughts on it, and kind of put in like a little bit of scripture in it, and it was weird having that conversation because she's only 9, but I was like,
you have to.
I was like, you know what? I'd rather her hear it from me than for her to be watching TV trying to figure out what the hell is this, like,
or
because
to have these feelings that she don't even know what they are, or
because Netflix is like on steroids right now with the LGBTQ. Is that how it is? LGBT community. Like they're on steroids right now with that. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just put this all on the table. My boyfriend's like, what you mean you're gonna have to talk with her? I said, listen, it's time.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's the norm now. So I think it's time that you have conversation. You have to have the birds and the bees conversations a little early with these kids now. Definitely. It's before time. Our parents could have
kind of stretched out to teenage years.
It wasn't as television. Like the kids now, we didn't really know a lot. We didn't even have social media and stuff when we were growing up. So
you could literally scroll we wasn't and see
exposed to all of
everything.
Everything. It's just
in your face.
Even sex wise, the TV it's on there like it's no problem.
Yeah,
it's no problem. I see my son before, but a year ago, probably a little more. Maybe like 6 months ago. My son didn't really know. But now that he can work his iPad and he know how to work the television and stuff, I see when he sees someone's kissing, he kind of hides his face and stuff. I've never seen him done that before, and I was like, oh my God, like he's really too young for this.
Here it goes.
Yeah, like he's really too young for this.
Thank God for those YouTube kids app though, and even I see my son watching a cartoon. I was like, what the hell? Blocked. Like it just.
Yeah, it
was like some of the cartoons are just like, what?
I put kids YouTube on my son's iPad. Shh. One day he was playing Roblox. He was like, "Mommy, look." Like, the characters on Roblox?
Yeah.
Someone was actually like sitting on his lap. He was like, "Oh, she's sitting on my lap." I was like,
what the hell?
Tell her get off your lap.
Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no.
I said, tell her to get off it.
No, I feel like Roblox is like the kiddie Vice City. You remember how Vice City was? Yeah. Like, they used to be doing all kind of stuff. The girls crawling on the car. I was like, what the hell?
That's it.
Hold on, wait. Let's get back on topic because we didn't strayed all
I know, right?
Okay, so your parents didn't agree with it.
No.
So, at that time, because they kind of pushed you away, you felt like that pushed you like closer because you guys moved together after that?
No, we didn't move together. I actually moved in with my aunt.
Oh, okay. And she just used to be there?
Yeah, my aunt didn't really
She didn't care.
she didn't really care.
Listen, I always say...
She loved me, so she didn't really,
And I think a lot of people just know it's like you're going to grow out of it. Or they feel like maybe as you get older, you're going to realize that you're not the same person. Like, the person you are at a teenager time, as you hit from 17 to 27, it's a whole different ball game. So at what point were you like, okay, like I need to get out of this? Like, because you said that you were praying about it.
Yeah, at that point where I was actually
like
fighting for you, actually fighting for your love, and I could tell like it's not bothering you. I already knew I had this. The good thing is like my conscience. It was always over. Like I always felt like Cleshae, this is not right. You know, like you got to get out of this. This is. Your family didn't grow you up like this, And
it's like that when I feel like when you have a Christian base, it's like you know better, you know right from wrong, and like. I thank God that I mean at that time when we were kids and we were in church every Sunday, praise team, Bible team, this and that. But like as I got older, I can honestly say like thank God, because when you around people who like don't really have that background, you kind of realize that. The morals, they don't have the same morals as you.
Yeah, I've noticed that. So with that, it was like, oh, I got to get out of this. And you got to watch what you pray to God for, because I was praying to get out of that, but I really didn't want to get out of it. I really liked it. And like I said, I used to pray, and I guess the more I prayed, the more deeper I still got into it. And I guess God was like, okay, you're not going to get out of it this way. She's gonna leave you, right? And she ended up leaving me for another girl.
For the same girl you were fighting?
No.
Oh Jesus!
She left both. She left both of us.
Listen, this is a whole womanizer.
She left both of us. No, yeah. So at that time, I was to the point where I can't eat, can't sleep, can't like
just brokenhearted.
And I tell you, it was brokenhearted not because love wise, because I didn't want to be with her. It was just that, how could you do me so bad when I gave up so much for you?
Right.
Like I say, I lost relationships.
Right.
I went against what I knew was right, or, my religion, my Christianity, to be with you. And then you just turn around and drop me like a
hot potato.
Hot potato.
So during the breakup, like, did she try to come back, or like, no, we're done?
After... Well, it wasn't a trying to come back thing. She tried. We had stopped talking. All communications were cut. But I had moved her over with you. Because I was going through so much. I said, you know what, I need to change the scenery. And I asked you, you was like, okay, you can move over. And from I moved over, I never really looked back.
Right. Well, that's good. Who would have thought I'd have been changing lives that? How would I was
No, but before I came, one day, dealing with that, like I tell you, I was to the point where I was not even eating. I wasn't sleeping. I was at work just crying. They used to just send me home or whatever. And I remember just kneeling down. I think it was Smokey Norfolk, I Need You Now. And I was singing that. And I said, you know what, God, if you take this pain away from me, I said, I promise you, I would never go back. And when I meant go back, get back into lesbianism. Yeah.
Right.
And it was at times where I was like, Then I was like, oh, you made a promise to God.
Right.
I don't think you want to go back on your promise, because it was just so... It was scary at that time to know that, Cleshae, you've seen the things God could do. Like, you want to really go back on your promise to Him, you go back on your promise to Him, nothing good is going to come out of it, Right. So I was like, oh.
I remember you saying that you used to call, like our aunt, Kathy, to pray for you.
Yeah, at that time, Kathy... She was also on the podcast, and the youth pastor Jamal. Listen, they used to be praying. I think they took on all my all my problems. They just took it on. They just took it on. Like she used to be there just praying with me, and I just even now, like I kind of call her. She's the aunt. You wouldn't think that she was married in the family. You would think that
like she was always there,
she's
right?
Actual
like
aunt.
I remember her. Like I think I'm closer with her than our uncle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you can't tell me she ain't been in this family forever.
She literally said, I don't even have time to pray for my family because I'm always praying for this side of the family,
We need it, child. Listen.
Like, I practically call her for a lot of stuff. And when I was dealing with that, she was one person that never, she didn't look down on me, you know. She helped me. Like, she would literally pray with me, or she'll tell me, well, Cleshae, you know, that's not right. Like, you know, you gotta find a way to get through it. Her and Jamal, and I appreciate her for that. I appreciate both of them for that.
Did they like break down like the spiritual ties like with lesbianism?
They didn't have to break it down because I saw it already. I knew
Right.
what it, you know, I knew what it was. I battled it. So I kind of knew they didn't even have to break that down.
Lived
when it
it.
comes to me. I
You
lived
survived
it.
it.
I survived it. I survived it.
That's crazy. Listen, I'm so happy, like, cause like I said, it's normalized so much. It's like people be like, "Have you ever been with a girl?" No, really? Oh, I did this one time. Like, and you know, it's kind of like a not really a trend, but it's on the bucket list. Listen.
Yeah, but they're trending and they don't feel like they're okay with it. But I'm to the point where, you know, when you asked me to do it, I felt shame and I felt
to
embarrassed.
come on the podcast.
Of course. I felt embarrassed, and I talked to my boyfriend about it, and he said, "Babe, that's the past."
Right.
You know, like, if you could help someone, talk about it. You know, that's the past. And because he felt so freely about me talking about it, I said, you know what, let me go, because that's what you give to the world, you can't take back. And that's something I wish I didn't give to the world.
Right. Yeah, but like, listen, ain't nothing to be embarrassed about, because I feel like we all have our own struggles. Yeah. And I feel like that's pretty much the issue. Like, that's the issue with women on the whole. It's like people don't want to share. Like, they're like, but you never know. Like, somebody could hear like you went through this and how you got out of it, and they be like, oh well, you know, and they just kind of start taking the steps you took to get out of it. You know, and it was the same thing. Like, I was when Trelly came onto the podcast, and she was kind of like sharing about how she got out of her marriage and stuff. She was the same way. She was like, you know, she doesn't really know how comfortable she is putting all of that out. And I'm like, well, the world already knows it. It's like, but at the end of the day, like, you'll be surprised, like, who hears this and like who could actually get a deliverance from this. And when I tell you we released that episode, like, people were writing me, were writing her, and I was like, and that was my first episode, and I was like, wow, God, like, I can't believe, like, I came out with this hour-long episode just kind of sharing real stuff that happened with someone else, and like, I've had over 15, 20 women message me kind of telling me like the things they were going through, and I just was like, whew, child. I wasn't ready, but like, I'm glad I did decide to do this podcast, because that's what it's about.
You're right. You're so right. But I want to tell parents too, you know, who's dealing with children or even adults that's going through it, you can't turn your back on them. You know, my mom always told me, she said, you know what, Cleshae? All I can do is pray. That's all I can do is pray. And at that time, trust me, your children need you the most, because at that time I needed that support system. I needed that love, and I think that's what led me into that, because I was actually looking for love that I wasn't getting.
Right.
I knew my mom loved me, but we won't tell each other it, you know. And I had someone telling me, you know, I love you. You know.
Yeah, I listen.
That's why now I know my kids, they're sick of me, but I kiss them so much, and I hug them, and I tell them every day that I love them, because they're not gonna hear it from they're not gonna hear it from anyone else.
And that's good, because, you know, it's usually two types of parenting. Like, you'll see someone who may have had like an alcoholic father or an abusive father or whatever, a mom that didn't show like love, and then they'll have their kids and like literally go down through the same generational curses. Whereas someone who, you know, like with me, with like my mom wasn't really present in my life as a child, so like I am intentional about always being there for my kids. Like, I remember when my daughter was born, they were like, "Oh, you're young, go to college, get a degree. I'm gonna keep the baby." I'm like, hell no, I'd rather struggle. Listen, I don't care if I got to carry her to work with me, because I knew how it felt to not have that as a child, and I didn't want to pass that down another generational curse. So it's good that like you actually broke that, and it's the same thing like our grandmother, because our mom are sisters, so this is my first cousin, but like their mom wasn't there for them on that level, and our grandmother raised them, and it turned
our great grandmother, so that was their grandmother,
and then it turned around. Here it is, another generation. Now my mom didn't raise me. Now we're going down 2 generations of the same thing, and I'm like, listen, I'm gonna break this, like. But I struggle with that too, like, because I didn't come from a family where it was like, I love you, like, so when I had my daughter, it was kind of like, she would come and she would hug me, I felt it, but cringe. I noticed, like, I wasn't intentional about with her, with showing her how much I love her, and that's why I'm like, And I think it dawned on me, like, when she turned, like, maybe 5 or 6, she asked me, she said, why you don't never want to hug me back? And I'm like, what you mean? Like, I didn't even notice that she was hugging me and I wasn't really hugging her back. And, like, so now I'm like, come here, give mommy a hug.
And now she probably like, oh.
Yeah, no, listen, she eats that up. Like, she's like...
Well, you know me, like, I'm very affectionate. Like,
yeah. I'm the opposite.
I'm the fairy tale happy ever after. Yeah. I don't know why.
Horse and carriage. Yes. Just a whole cliche. Like, she be like, when you be telling me the stuff that you be wanting, I be like, why? Oh, I want this and I want that and I want the rose petals on the bed. And I'm like,
yes.
Okay, cliche.
No, you're like, I'm very much so affectionate. I'm happy. You know, I didn't get that. And I noticed my sister now. She lives with me. And she's so affectionate. And I'd be like, oh, my God. Oh, my God. Like, and she probably felt the same way I felt, too. So now I have to say, oh, come here. Give me a hug. Give me a kiss. Like, you know, because I don't want her to feel the same way I felt.
And then that turns around and leads her into a whole nother...
Yeah.
Oh, child. So, all right. Now, let's get back. So, you said, like, you know, once you prayed it and you asked God to take it from you, you made this promise to God.
Oh, God.
So, when you moved over here, moved to the U.S. with me, like, you didn't still feel like those sensations, like, towards women? Or was like, I'm out of that?
No, it was so funny that I had this coworker, right? And I didn't know... She's a very beautiful girl. She's very nice. I didn't know that she was kind of she probably was bisexual. And I'm like, the devil is really so busy because out of the blue, she was just like coming on to me and like, I'm like, what is really... I never told no one there that I liked the girls before. So I don't know, but it was like, okay, I'm in America, so this is normal. You know, we do that. I was like...
The devil was like, you gonna break this promise today?
Yeah. And I was like... I used to text her back, and then I used to be like, you know, I started to see we were getting close, and I was like, nope, hold up, Cleshae.
Right.
This is not something you want to get yourself back in. Turn it off. And I, like, cut her off, because I said, either I mess with you, or I go against my promise, which one I didn't want to do.
Right.
And shortly after that, I became pregnant. So it was definitely something I said, you know what, I'm going to be a mom. I can't, that's not something I want to be around my kids. That's why I don't fuck my mom. That's why I don't fuck my mom, because she used to get mad for me doing stuff in front of the children. Right. But now, like I say, now I realize because I have my children, I don't want no one to do that around my children. Yeah. At all. At all.
Me too. I'd be like, listen, you could be as gay as you want, but when you see my kids come around, that has to cut out. Or I'm gonna just have to like kind of separate. Like, I'm not gonna stop them. Like, if I have a family member that's gay, like I wouldn't necessarily stop them from being around them. Like, you know, if we're all you can't in a group setting, and I don't wanna like, you know, kind of pull them out of the scene, and then they're like, why does mommy? And then they kind of start looking like to see like what you pulling them for. But it's just like certain things. When you see my kids come around, you got to turn it off. Like, and I just, like you say, bedroom business is bedroom business, and I think that's where it kind of gets lost with the LGBT community. It's like they force it on you. Like, you can't be like, you don't see me and my boyfriend out like in the front of kids and doing and shaking up on each other, because our bedroom business is our bedroom business. And like, you know, they're like, so they always feel attacked. Like, they always feel like someone's attacking them. But I figured that comes a lot from they've been in the closet so long. So now that they're out of the closet, they're like, y'all gonna get this gayness. Like, it is what it is. This is me. You gonna accept me or not?
I have co-workers that's gay. They're actually married to their significant other. You know, we talk. They talk about their relationship. I talk about my relationships or whatever. That's what they choose. That's what they want to do with their life. But like I say, as for me at my house, no ma'am.
It's only
no ma'am.
Let me ask you something. Like, I know a lot of, like, I have a friend, he's gay or whatever, and, you know, I never, growing up, because my family was so against it, I never had gay friends on that level or whatever. Well, he's more like a coworker. I don't want to say that, because we don't talk every day or anything, but it was certain things that, you know, he was kind of saying that he went through as a child, as far as, like, you know, molestation and, you know, just things that as a child you shouldn't be going through. Do you think that kind of like plays a part with it? Yeah. Like, you kind of get lost in the sexuality, like you don't even know anymore?
Yeah. I honestly think it does. I think it's different things that kind of plays, you know, with it. I know someone personally that got raped as a child. A girl, she got raped. And, I think she
It
got to
turned
the
her off
point
for
where...
men?
Yeah, she got to the point where she wanted to make herself feel less attractive. So she started dressing like a guy.
Right.
She started dressing like a guy. So if I dress like this, then it won't happen again. It won't bother me. But in all actuality, it still happens because I actually know someone also that was also a butch dressed like a guy, and guys actually raped her.
Right.
They say, you want to think you're a guy? Let me show you that you're still a woman.
Right.
And I kind of feel, because I have someone that's very close to me that's dealing with it, and I kind of feel for them because I pray for her so much because I don't want her to have to go through that. I talked to her. I said, listen, I can't look down on you. I did the same thing. I was right where you're sitting. That's where I was sitting. And I talked to her. I was like, but let me tell you something, baby. If you want to get out of this, you got to fight.
Right.
Like, you got to fight to get out of it.
Right.
Fight like you fighting for your life, because you definitely fighting for your life with that.
Yeah. I had an episode with my teenage pregnancy, and I started like kind of talking about the quote quote Pandora's box. Like, sometimes when you open certain doors, it's hard to push these demons back in the door and close it. And people may think like, oh, it's fun, I'm just having fun, I'm a teenager, YOLO. But the things you open up and what you like, once you go down on that road, you gotta walk down that road.
It was fun for me too. That's what I said. It started off fun. It got to the point where I didn't like men. I was disgusted. Like, I literally used to cringe when they come and try to talk to me. Like, leave me alone. I don't like you. Don't look at me. I don't like men. I'm gay. Literally. And it was supposed to be.
I love my man. But
I love my man.
I just can't I don't know. Listen, I never opened the box, and I ain't gonna open the box, baby, because I be weak sometimes. But let me ask you this too. When it comes to like how you said you were in a right before you kind of got serious with the lesbianism with your girlfriend, you were in a relationship with a guy. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like because that relationship had just like so much ups and downs and turmoils, it kind of was like, I don't want nothing to do with men, like right now, or not really?
I think it had so much to do with following the crowd.
Right.
Like I said, my family who I was kind of hanging out with, and I saw they were doing it, so I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do it too. I'm gonna do it. I felt like I could have turned it off and turned it on. Easy as that.
Well, I'm glad you turned it off.
Me too. Permanently.
Because, we wouldn't have Cam and Cass here right now.
I know, right? Just tearing up everything, right?
All right. So what advice would you give to like someone that may be in like, maybe currently gay and like they want out? Like, what advice could you give to them?
First off, God help those who help themselves.
Right.
Like, you have to be willing to fight. Like I said, fight to get out of it. I think you should find someone like how I had Auntie Katie and Jamal. Find someone that could pray with you, that could just talk to you, that could minister into try to surround yourself with more positive things.
Right.
You just at that time you really need support.
Right. And then you said for parents, don't shun the kids.
No, parents, you shouldn't. That's the last thing you want to do. Like that.
That just makes it worse.
Totally.
Yeah. And I want to say, like, if you may have, like, some friends or maybe some family members that you don't agree with their lifestyle, like Cleshae said, like, don't shun them. Like, you just kind of see, you just never know what someone may have been through that led them to that road.
Right.
Just kind of be patient and try to be open to kind of see it from their point of view. And that's why, a lot of people are like, oh, I don't mess with gays, Bati man for this and all that stuff. And
that
I'm
doesn't
like,
make any sense.
Yeah, and I'm just like, you know what?
Because they're people too.
Yeah, at the end of the day, we're all human, and it's like, I don't mind being patient with you until you find your way. And if that's what you choose to do long term or forever, everybody have to go to God. Like, you may be sleeping with the same sex, and now people are, oh, you're going to hell, this and that. But I'm cursing, carrying on, doing all these things on a day-to-day basis.
Same thing.
What separates my sin from yours?
Nothing.
So it's like, just kind of be patient and let's not judge one another, okay? But I just want to thank you for actually like coming in and sharing this. Like, I know, like you said, I know you were embarrassed, when I first kind of brought it up, but I'm glad you shared it, because I do feel like you could actually help a lot of people who may be going through this road, or maybe even someone who, like myself, at 17, I'm like, this is on my bucket list. I'm gonna sleep with a woman. Katy Perry kissed a girl and she liked it.
Don't open Pandora's box.
But I'm glad you just kind of talked about like the spiritual ties that's connected to it, and just kind of getting out of it. And like Cleshae said, God helps those who help themselves. So it's kind of pointless in praying to say, God, I want out, but on a day-to-day basis, you're going through the motions and the movements, like not trying to live a different lifestyle.
Yeah.
But I appreciate you for coming on and having this conversation. Go ahead and close this out.
Okay, guys. So not only have we lived it, but
I wasn't gay. Not only have you lived it.
Okay, guys. Not only have I lived it, but I survived it.
Yeah. So, guys, make sure you tune in next week, Monday, for an all-new episode. I have someone that's coming on. And I really do think that you guys are going to enjoy this. It's going to be a little bit different. Same. It's still like a testimonial.
Same script.
Yeah, same script.
Different cast.
Same script, different cast. But thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you tune in next week, Monday, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks, Shay.
Bye, guys.